do some muting. All right, there we go. Perfect. Okay. So for the benefit of the recording, I'll repeat that. You need a cushion or a folded up blanket or towel for today's session. Lightweight as well if you've got it. Oh, and also actually, what I remember, there's mine. If you've got something like a band or a little hip circle like that, we can use that for a couple of the exercises as well, but that's optional, you don't need it. But if you've got one, you can grab that too. All right, start on your back, arms outstretched nice and wide, rolling knees from side to side. We'll just start nice and gently. Good. I put a radiator in here last week because it was so cold. I've just got in here this morning and it's not cold this morning. I've had to open doors, turn off the radiator. It's really nice today. Okay, so while you're rolling your knees from side to side, just think about what the opposite shoulder's doing. Try not to let it come off the floor. Push it down as you roll your knees to the side. Keep going. Just do one more to each side. And then staying on your back, bring your head up into your hands, one leg straight, and kick up your straight leg. So if you've got tight hamstrings, then just gradually build the intensity of this kick. I've got extremely tight hamstrings today after my run on Saturday. I think I was basically doubled up in half the whole way around because it was so cold. So you might be able to see, I'm doing my kick. I haven't got my leg quite straight today because I'm just trying to gently ease into this. Okay, change sides. Well, that side's even worse. Well done, keep going. Do a couple more kicks, and then you're going to need your towel, your cushion, your blanket, whatever it is you're using. Grab it now, because you need to put it under your head. So, lying on your side with whatever you've got under your head. So you need to support your head, basically. Otherwise, you have to kind of hold your head off the floor, which isn't very comfortable. So when you've got yourself into position, on your side, legs curled up, both arms out in front of you. Well, this feels nice, actually. Just stay here for 45 minutes. And then open up your top arm. Let's scoot forward a bit, that's better. Now, as you're moving, I want you to think about what your legs are doing. So if your knees are rising off the floor and you can't control it, or your top hip is moving back, drop your top leg over your lower leg, which will help anchor your legs in place. And if that leg is still rising off the floor, you can use your lower arm to physically hold it down while you rotate. So you're trying to get as much of this rotation through your upper back as possible. And if you let your hips and knees move, then your lower back will take over. Hi, Jane. You need a cushion or a blanket or a towel this morning, darling. Okay, do one more and then we'll roll over. We're doing this for quite a long time. And then change sides. And when you're ready, off you go. So again, like before, if your knees are coming off the floor, your top hip is rolling back, just drop that top leg over. It's really important that they stay anchored in place. So I'm looking at my hand as I rotate. If that makes you feel dizzy, just keep looking straight ahead. It will limit your range of movement slightly, but you don't want to feel dizzy doing this. Pardon me. Okay, we're just going to do a couple more. Good. And then you can lose the cushion. That's going away for a bit. Onto your back again. And go to your bridge. Arms down by your side. Hips pushed up nice and high, and then slowly roll your back down to the floor. Slow movement, just pushing at the hips as high as you can. And then slowly rolling your spine down until your bum hits the floor. So the focus of this bridge is to just mobilize your spine. So slow that phase of the movement down as much as you can. Well done. 10 more seconds. Good. And then roll over onto your front, onto all fours. Cat to cow. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and then just arch and dip. As you arch your back, think about pulling your tummy up towards your spine. Start to engage your core. Keep going. Do a few more seconds of these. Okay, and then done. We're going to do some alternate arm and leg extensions now. Before you start to move though, just think about what your back is doing. So make sure your back's not dipped, and make sure it's not arched either. Your back should be flat. So look in the camera, look at your back in the camera if you can. Pull your tummy up to your spine really hard. So really brace your core. And if you think you're going to wobble, just start with some arm extensions first of all, and then move into the full arm and leg extension. If you feel happy doing this, arm and leg extension. So think about what your hips are doing when you're moving. If you feel that your pelvis is rocking from side to side and you can't control it easily, then just make it a bit easier, arms only. Keep the movement slow and steady. Thumb up to the ceiling. Point your toes slightly and just have your heel about bum height. So you don't want to lift your leg too high. That will just make your back arch. Keep going. We'll do another 10 seconds. Keeping your tummy drawn up all the time. Perfect. And then slowly come up to stand. I'm going to have to use an air already. It's absolutely boiling. There we go. Right. Hip rotations. Alternate leg. Just help your balance. Put your hands on your hips if you need to, or just anywhere out to the side to stabilize you. If your mobility isn't brilliant or you're a bit wobbly, then just start with a smaller movement. By that I mean you don't have to bring your knee too high. If you feel happy doing this, try and get your knee nice and high as you bring your leg around to the side. Well done. Keep going. Good. And then go the other way. So you might find it easier to bring your leg higher as you bring it around this way. And keep your balance going. So keep your core braced as much as you can. It'll help your balance. And I need to look at a spot on the floor when I do this as well. If I look up or look around, it's it. Game over. One more on each side. And then we're going to finish off this full mobilization set with some hip hikes. So feet, legs completely straight, and you pull your straight leg up like that. So if you were to practice this at home on your own, you know, this is a lot more effective if you can do it off a step. So your stairs are the perfect height for this. Hannah, you just pulled a step out of nowhere. I'm very impressed. Good. And what you should feel is the leg that you're not moving, the side of your bum is starting to wake up a little bit. And then change legs. My legs are not good today at all. That run broke me. It's so cold. Good, keep going. Just do a couple more, and then we're going to move into our first set. So we're doing 3 sets of exercises today. First set is focusing on glutes. So that's round the sides, round the back, everything around your pelvic girdle, basically. And then you're going to move into a set focusing on tummy. And then we're going to do some rotational work to finish off with, which is a bit more high intensity. So first of all, bridge. Now you can use your cushion or your blanket or your towel for this one, but it's optional. You don't need to use it. So onto your back. You want your heels close enough towards your bum that you can just easily reach and touch them. And then hold whatever you've got above your shoulders. So this isn't heavy, but just having your arms raised and holding something will add a little bit of instability. And then you're just going to push up and down and only let your bum touch the floor really lightly and then quickly push up again. So you're not letting yourself rest on the floor for very long. And as you're pushing your glutes, your hips up, rather really squeeze your glutes. Well done. Another 10 seconds. Good. And then done. Pop your weight down. It's not your weight, your cushion. Stay on your back. Bridge again, this time with your feet in a split stance. So you're going to take one foot forward, bring the other foot back in a bit more towards your bum, both feet flat to the floor, and you're going to push up and down with your feet in a split stance. Now, if you've got a weight handy, you can actually hold a weight across your hips doing this as well to make it more challenging. That is optional, you don't need to do that. I'm just going to start on the timer. I can see properly, it's better. So what you should find doing this is that it limits the range of movement a little bit, that you can't push your hips up quite as high as you could before, that's fine. And it should feel slightly different on each leg. So I can feel it working my glute more in the leg that I've got my foot closer to me. Change size. If you can't feel much difference, then just extend the difference between your legs. So take the front leg out a bit more, bring the back leg in towards you a bit more if you need to. Both feet should be flat to the floor though. Good. Keep going. Last few seconds. Good, and done. Onto your side. So you've got 2 options here for what you do with your head. You can either have your arms straight and you can rest your head on your arm, or you can hold your head in your hand like that. Lower legs slightly bent, top leg straight, and then just take it back a little bit. I've got the foot of my top leg flexed, so my toes aren't pointed, my foot's flexed, and it's active. So that means I'm not just letting it drop down, I'm holding my foot up, and it's going to raise and lower that top leg. Really small range of movement, probably about 6 inches, and it's not touching the floor. And the more you can get that top leg back, the more you'll feel it in the side of your bum. So I can feel it just there, I've got my thumb. So this is a slightly more advanced way of doing a clamshell. And I can already feel it burning quite nicely. Okay, last few seconds, then I'm going to roll over. Good, done. Other side. So make sure you have your head in the same position it was for the first side. Leg bent underneath you slightly, top leg straight, foot active, and then walk back, off you go. Well done. So again, a really small range of movement. You're just almost pulsing your leg up and down. It's not a very big lift. 10 more seconds. Almost there. 2, 1, and done. And then roll onto your back again. So this bridge is a bit more advanced. If you do this and you really feel that your hips are rocking from side to side and you can't control it, I want you to go back to the split stance bridge again. So that's the one you go back to if this is too challenging. So on your back, hips pushed up, engage your core, arms down by the side of this one. And you're going to raise one leg and just going to lower that leg up and down. So when I'm bringing it up, it's no higher than my bent leg and my foot's not touching the floor. So what you need to do when you're doing this is to make sure, so the leg that you're lifting up and down, if that hip really drops and you can't control it, if you can't keep it level, don't do this. 5 seconds. And then change sides. So push your hips up, core engaged, extend your leg, off you go. So this is a lot more challenging. Be honest about if you can do it. So you should feel it working. So the glute of the leg that you're supporting yourself on should be working. And you should feel the leg sort of across your quad into your hip and your tummy on the leg that you're raising. If you can feel your back working, then you need to go back to the split stance bridge. One more. And then rest. And then the last one of this little set, which we are going to repeat, is a fire hydrant. So this is the one you can use a band for if you want to. It will make it a lot more challenging, and it's fine to do without. So you're back onto all fours, core brace before you start to move, and then you're going to bring one leg out to the side. I'm just going to show you from a few angles. So what you want to avoid doing is leaning onto the leg that you're resting on. You need to keep that thigh completely upright. So don't lean over. Keep that thigh upright and the legs coming out to the side. Right, off we go. 30 seconds on each side. So you might feel it a bit differently on each leg. You might feel it sort of more difficult on the leg that you're leaning on, or it might be the leg that you're moving. Do 30 seconds on each side again. So think about what your arms are doing as well. Keep them completely straight. Shoulders over your hands. 5 seconds. Good, and then change sides. Get ready? Off you go. So using a band for this makes it a lot more challenging. At the moment, you're just really working against gravity. But if you start to use a band, then you've got some resistance there as well. But just watch out that you're not leaning onto the leg that you're supporting yourself on. Last few seconds. Good, and then done. Right, back to the bridge on your back. So, cushion. So you can even use a weight for this. You can hold the weight above your shoulders if you want to make it more challenging for this second set. And we're going to repeat all the exercises again. So first one, cushion or weight above your shoulders, normal bridge, off you go. So again, don't let your bum rest on the floor. Just lowers down ever so slightly and then push up again immediately. So your bottom is just kissing the floor lightly. Okay, well done. Ten seconds. 2, 1, and then done. Split stance bridge. Again, you can use a weight if you want to. So you can hold a weight across your hips. One leg out, one leg in. Get ready, off you go. Good. Looks like dogs and children are helping with this. What is it about when dogs, and you lie on the floor, they have to get involved? Okay, get ready to change sides. 3, 2, 1, then change your legs over. And off you go. Well done. Keep thinking about what your core is doing as well. Keep it engaged, so pulls back in towards your spine. You should feel it working a little bit doing this exercise. Keep going, almost there. 3, 2, 1, and then done. Lying side leg raises. Onto your side. So you can make this a bit more challenging. So you've got the same position, leg bent underneath you, top leg back, but limit the movement even more. So raise up your leg until you can start to feel your glute working, and then just do a really small, quick pulsing movement. If it was hard enough the first time, do what you did before, so a bigger raise up and down. You want to make it harder, leg raise so you feel your glute working, and then pulse. And that will feel more challenging. That's it. And the height of your leg just depends on your mobility, the point at which your glutes start to activate. You might also feel it in your inner thigh as well. 5 seconds. Starting to burn nicely. 2, 1, roll over. This is the worst bit of this one, to change sides and roll over elegantly. Without making old lady noises. Right, off you go. Good. Well done. Remember to keep your foot active as well, don't let it flop down. You should be holding your foot up. Keep going, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, good. Back onto your back, single leg bridge again. So if last time it was hurting your back or you couldn't keep your hips level, go back to that split stance bridge, maybe add a weight across your hips to make it more challenging. All right, get ready. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So you're going to push your hips up, raise one leg. It might help to have your hands on your hips as well, so you can kind of manually feel if that leg's dropping. So if it is dropping, just physically try and keep it up. Keep your core braced. 3, 2, 1, and then change sides. Okay. Go. Well done. So I'm keeping my hands on my hips just because this leg really wants to drop. This is the weaker side, definitely. Keep going. 3, 2, 1, good. And then into that fire hydrant again. So using a band if you've got it. You don't need it though, it's pretty hard without. So onto all fours, pulling your tummy up to your spine, make sure your back's flat. Off you go. 30 seconds on each side, and then we're going to move on to a new set. So So your glutes are going to be getting fatigued now. Make sure that you don't lean onto the leg that you're supporting yourself on. Last few seconds. And then change sides. Again, reset. Off you go. Good, well done. Ten seconds. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and done. Okay, so the next set of exercises we're going to do, focusing on your tummy. So it's going to be really important doing these, that you have your core braced, your lower back isn't taking over. So we're going to start with a static dead bug with some breathing, just to help you focus on engaging your core, make sure that it's that muscle working and not your back. So we're going to start on your back, arms up above your shoulders, knees above your hips, feet at the same height as your knees, so right angles. And you might feel that already your lower back is just lifting off the floor ever so slightly. So you want to rotate your hips and actively push your back into the floor and keep that feeling going. So you're not letting your back rise off the floor at all. So just breathe normally. But each time you exhale, you can just work on pushing your back down a little bit harder. Now, if it feels easy and you're having absolutely no trouble at all keeping your back down, you can just let your knees drop forward a tiny bit. So I can now feel that my tummy muscles are starting to shake a little bit. So I'm just going to really relax, that's the word. Bring my knees back in a little bit. A few more even breaths. And then just let your knees drop forward a little bit if you can. Ten more seconds. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and then pull your knees into your chest. Right, you need your cushion or your blanket again. So, single-sided dead bugs. It's useful to hold something in place. It will stop you wanting to use your arm and your leg. So you're in a dead bug position. I'm holding the cushion against my knee. I'm just going to use one arm and one leg. Now, if you're really struggling with your back staying on the floor, then just regress it a little bit and do arm only. So keep your feet in place and just take your hand behind your head. It's really important that your back doesn't come off the floor. So we'll do 30 seconds on each side. Good, change. Off you go. So I'm taking my arm behind my head, thumb down. And again, remember, if you can't keep your back down, arms only is absolutely fine. This is still challenging. 3, 2, 1. Good. Plank. And you can do it in a multitude of ways. So, starting off with what I think would be the easiest way of doing this, just on your knees, straight arm plank, half straight arm plank, making sure that your bum's tucked under. Then would be a half plank on your elbows, again on your knees, bum tucked under. And you can do a full plank or a full straight arm plank. So you've got lots of options, but I want you to choose the one that you can feel it in your tummy the most. So if other parts of your body are taking over, so if your arms are feeling it more, or your quads or your bum, do the option that you can feel in your tummy the most. So play around with them. We're going to do 45 seconds. You can change positions as you go if you want as well. Off you go. So let's run through your options again. So you've got the half straight arm plank, half low plank, full straight arm plank, or low plank. So if I'm in a low plank, I can actually have my back working more than my tummy. So I'm going to go for that one. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Drop to your knees. Done. And then a little teaser with an arm raise. So you can use your cushion again for this one. First set. I want you to do it with your heels down, toes up, arms up above your shoulders. I'm just going to lower the cushion down to shoulder height and then up again. So you're moving your towel or your cushion up and down. We'll keep this relatively gentle for the first set and then work through it. So if you're even in this position with your legs bent, if you're finding this too difficult, legs straight out in front of you, do it that way. Take some of the pressure off your back. And my back is tight today. I had a brutal sports massage on Friday and then a horrible run on Saturday. So I'm taking easier options today. 5 seconds. Good. On to your back again. I've had an exciting voyage of discovery the last few weeks and I've discovered that my knee problem has come from my upper back, my ribs, not my knee. There you go, very exciting. On your back, head up in your hands. This will help anchor your back to the floor. Bring your legs up. Bent leg, drop. So your legs will start in that dead bug position, lots of right angles, dropping alternate heel to the floor. So this may well feel like the easiest of the exercises we've done so far, and that's fine. There's plenty of chance to make this harder. We're going through these twice more. Ten more seconds. So hopefully keeping your head up and your hands like this will make it easier to keep your back pushed down. 3, 2, 1. Grab your cushion again if you want to. You don't need it for this single side dead bug. You can, if you're happy just to keep one side completely still, then you can do it without any assistance. All right, 3, 2, 1. Single side dead bug. Like last time, if you can't control your back, just move your arm. So each time I'm bringing my arm and leg back to the center, I'm just pushing my back down to the floor again, re-engaging my tummy. 2, 1, change sides. Well done, keep going. 10 seconds. 2, 1, good. Plank. So again, choose the option that you know is going to use your tummy the most, not your back. 30 seconds this time. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So you can even do a straight arm plank like this on a raised surface as well. If you don't want to drop to your knees, you can use a work surface or a table. 10 seconds. This is so hard today. 3, 2, 1, drop down to your knees and then teaser. So for this one, if you feel happy doing this exercise, you can challenge yourself a bit more. So you can do this with your legs up off the floor if you want to. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to stick with my heels down. Off you go, 30 seconds. So you're doing this arm raise. Try to think about your upper back working to raise and lower the weight. It's only a light cushion, but you should be able to feel some resistance. Well done. Jane, I love your cushion. That's really nice. Okay, last few seconds. 2, 1, and then lying on your back, bent leg drop. So if you found this really easy, obviously there's a way you can progress it. You can just drop both feet to the floor at the same time. So if you find this bent leg drop with single leg too easy, drop both legs down at the same time. So I'm going to stick with the single today. But like anything, if you're doing the double leg drop and you can feel your back working more than your tummy, go back to the easier option. But Jane, I couldn't have a cushion like that in my house. The dog would just, she'd eat that. She'd think it was a toy. The pom-pom, oh, you lost a couple. Is that the cat? Yeah. 5 seconds. 2, 1, good. Just spend a couple of seconds now lying on your back with your knees hugged in. We're going to do one more set of those. Discovered that Mocha absolutely hates the squeaky things in squeaky toys, and she works out where they are and just spends time eviscerating toys to get the squeak out. It's lovely. All right, let's go again. Last set of those. So the single side dead bugs. If you feel you can challenge yourself, then, and you've been using arm only, go for the full movement. Off you go. So doing this dead bug, just using one arm and one leg on one side of the body, turns it into more of an anti-rotation exercise. So you've got one part of your body stable and the other part moving. So your stable side is having to resist the movement from the moving side. Good, and then change sides. Anti-rotation exercises are fantastic if you run, swim, dance, anything that involves lots of rotation. 10 seconds. 2, 1, and then plank. Choose your option. 30 seconds again. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So I'm going for half plank on my knees this time, really keeping my hips tucked under, tummy pulled up towards my spine. Keep going. 3, 2, 1, and then teaser again. So grab your towel. You can use a weight for this, but because of the way that your shoulders move, it's a bit nicer on your shoulders to use something lighter. All right, off you go. 2, 1, go. Well done. 3, 2, 1, and then onto your back. Last one of these bent neck or double leg drops. The head up, back push down hard. Off you go. Good. Keep going. 10 seconds. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Good. Right. What time is it? Perfect. We've got a couple of exercises to do. It's about 2 minutes, so I don't think we'll run over. We should be okay. So first one, torso rotation. So it's back into that position that you were in for the teaser, holding weight or body weight and rotating from side to side. And I want you to move relatively quickly doing this. And then as you go to the side, really try and rotate as much as you can, bracing the other side against it if you can. You can either do it with your heels down, or you can have your legs up if you want to challenge yourself more. Keep your arms bent, so keep the weight close to your body. And again, you can use a cushion if you want to, so you don't have to use anything heavy. 30 seconds for that one. I'll get you started on that, and I'll show you the next one afterwards, actually. Right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. I'm going to go for the nice light blanket. It's become my comfort blanket. Well done. Good. And just look either at what you're holding, or if you're just using body weight, imagine you're staring at a point between your hands. Keep your spine neutral while you rotate from side to side. 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to do a plank rotation. So either on your knees or a full straight arm plank. And you're going to reach behind and tap your opposite hip. So if you're doing this in a full straight arm plank, that's quite challenging, where you can drop to your knees. And you will rotate doing this, but the idea is you're just trying to limit the rotation as much as you can. You're trying to work against it. If it's even too much doing this on your knees, you can use a raised surface for the straight arm plank. Good. 2, 1. Torso rotations again. Do one more set of each. Grab your weight. Or your small child. Gutsy move. Off you go. Using a moving weight definitely is makes it a more challenging exercise. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Plank. Last one. Last 30 seconds and we'll stretch. 2, 1, go. Good, well done. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Done. Right, from there, go straight into child pose. Feet together, knees apart, really reach forward. Perfect. Well done. There's some challenging exercises in there today. I hope you're all okay. So stay in this position and just use your fingers on the mat just to pull your arms forward a bit. Try and increase the stretch on either side of your upper back. Nice deep breaths. Good. And then push up into cat stretch. Hands underneath your shoulders. Push your upper back up really high. Good. And then just tuck your toes under. Push your bum up nice and high. So if you haven't got your heels anywhere near the floor or your legs straight, just try and push your heels down now. Try and straighten your legs a little bit. Increase the stretch in your calves and hamstrings. Good, and then drop down onto your knees. Let's go for hip flexors. So I want you to do this with your leg out to the side as well as forward. So leg out to the side slightly, tuck your bum under, push forward as much as you can. So you should feel a good stretch across the back hip and hopefully also in the inner thigh into your groin in the back leg. Keep your torso nice and high to begin with. Nice day now. I like having sunshine in here. And then reach across. Perfect. And then change sides. So foot out to the side and forward. Tuck your hips under, push forward. This is the part of the session where I notice all the dust in the corners and the dog hair. And then reach across. They literally only ever come in here for a few seconds and leave again, really. But yeah, seem to leave all their hair behind. Good. Glutes. So I would prefer you to do this on your front in straight arm plank position and then lower down. You'll get a bit of a deeper stretch. But if that's too uncomfortable for knees, then do the seated version instead. So the seated one is that one. That's a bit more knee friendly. But if you can do the harder option, take it. Then we'll just get into your hips as well as your bum. Okay, so if you are on your front, take a deep breath in and then just relax down. Try and increase the stretch. And if you're sitting, you can twist now. Oh yeah, that's quite bad today. I don't think I should have spent the entire day sitting on the sofa yesterday. I think I should have done some mobility. Okay, change legs. I went from doing about 28,000 steps on Saturday to less than 2,000 yesterday, which I thought was quite an achievement. Okay, so again, deep breath in. Exhale and relax, or twist around. And then we'll finish with a quad stretch. So you can either kneel or stand. Just make sure you care for your back, however you're doing it. Don't let it arch. I'm going to do a kneeling one. So really pull your heel into your bum. Oops. Good, and then change sides. And done. So if you're kneeling, stand up slowly. Well done today. Good work.
Thanks, Catherine.
Well done. Enjoy your half term.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on the, I think we're going to go and get in the sun for this.
Excellent idea.
One sunny day of half term.
Yeah, go make the most of it. Get out for a walk.
See you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye.